Hello again. Video 7 came upon us a little bit quicker than I had anticipated. There was a lot of support from my friends and colleagues on the internet, on friends on Facebook and YouTube, subscribers. A lot of good comments, and so when I got up this morning I felt, right, come on, let's get on with this thing. It's driving me mad. And since I'd got pretty well far with the G-code on the last video I showed last night, I was inspired to write my own G-code. So I got a quick cheap G-code compiler. It's actually not a very difficult language. You just tell X to go a certain number of millimeters and Y a certain number of millimeters, backwards, forwards, whatever, minus and plus. As long as you get the syntax right, you're okay. Anyway, to make this a little bit shorter than the last few that we've had, we've got the, you can see we've got the saw head back on. We're all right, Alfie, I know. Yeah, we'll go for a walk in a minute. We've got the saw head back on, and that's got the saw blade on it. I've placed the Z-axis, if you like, underneath the saw head. There is a worm screw on it, which is part one. Then part two will drive another gearing mechanism, which will basically, as I mentioned before, lower and raise the head. Very small increments while the saw is cutting. So that's the plan. The X-axis is back in place. It was looking rather lost out in space, and I'm quite happy that I've put it back again now, because that's where it belongs. And the Y-axis at the moment is just staying out of the equation. Just to recap, we've got the Arduino output from that digital into the LPT parallel port used for printers in the old days, and plotters. This is where all this technology comes from, this plotter technology. And we've got the EFL Engineering for Less program, into which I've loaded an NC. They're all ending in .nc. Basically, it's a text file formatted in a certain way for CNC, and this allows the program to work the stepper motor electronics and the stepper motors. So without further ado, we'll just run this. This will basically run the X-axis backwards and forwards, and virtually, theoretically, lower and raise the head. We'll see. So I'll start this off here. You don't need really to see this. So we'll film over here once we start. What happens first of all is the Z-axis will lower the head to the height that it needs. It doesn't at the moment, obviously, but that's the plan. Anyway, here we go. And you see it lowering the head. Cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, cut 4, cut 5, cut 6, and each time the head is lowering. When it's finished cutting through, which I will program, the axis or Z-axis raises the head back up again, and it goes back to position. Now, if I want to cut exactly the same piece of steel, or Delrin in this case, or anything else, wood, I can do so by just telling it to run again, and that's the whole idea of this. Cut as many as I want, when I want, while I make a cup of coffee. So quite well pleased with that. As you can see, it says here that the job is done successfully. That's the programming job, and you can see the thing reset. Let me just show you that again from here. You can see the axes dropping 1 millimeter at a time and cutting 10 millimeters from 0 up to 10, or 1 centimeter. Pretty good, eh? So it's all working exactly as planned. The G-code works. All I need now to do is to build this gantry here to house the motor and the worm drive, which will raise and lower the saw, and that's the end of that. I could adjust the amount that the saw cuts, obviously for a longer piece, by just adding a larger amount on the x-axis, and I can cut slower, i.e. smaller increments, finer cuts, by decreasing the amount that the saw is dropped by the z-axis each time. So different materials can be programmed by different programs, and you simply use the one you want for the material you want and register it on the plate here each time in a vice or hold downs. The dog's going crazy, wants to go out for a walk. He's fed up with the back teeth of this. So once again, thanks for all the friendship and kind words that I've had. I'm terribly sorry that I've been inundating you with all this geek stuff, but it helps me think when people give me ideas, and a lot of people have. So thanks once again. Okay, we'll come back again on video 8, which will be one step further forward. We're getting closer and closer to that miracle of actually cutting something. Take care, guys and girls.